Hi everyone, welcome back to Rabbi's Reflection. I'm glad that you're joining with me today. We'll be continuing in our reading of Kitchen Table Wisdom by Dr. Rachel Naomi Remen, and today reading the story Making Caring Visible. Stay with us as we read through the story and then offer some reflections. One of the most common things people with cancer tell me is that experiences of hospitalization and treatment are profoundly isolating. I suspect that this sense of aloneness may even undermine the will to live. When we feel the support of others, many of us can face the unknown with greater strength. I often use ritual to help people at times like this. For more than 20 years, I've offered a very simple yet powerful ritual to people before their radiation, chemotherapy, or surgery. I suggest they meet together with some of their closest friends and family the day before their procedure. It does not matter how large or small the group is, but it is important that it be made up of those who are connected to them through a bond of the heart. Before this meeting, I suggest they find an ordinary stone, a piece of the earth, big enough to fit in the palm of their hand, and bring it to the meeting with them. The ritual begins by having everyone sit in a circle. In any order they wish to speak, each person tells the story of a time when they too faced a crisis. People may talk about the death of important persons, the loss of jobs or of relationships, or even about their own illness. The person who is speaking holds the stone the patient has brought. When they finish telling their story of survival, they take a moment to reflect on the personal quality that they feel helped them come through that difficult time. People say such things as, "What brought me through was determination. What brought me through was faith. What brought me through was humor." When they have named the quality of their strength, they speak directly to the person preparing for surgery or treatment, saying, "I put determination into this stone for you," or "I put faith into this stone for you." Often what people say is surprising. Sometimes they tell of crises that occurred when they were young, or in wartime, that others, even family members, may not have known before, or they attribute their survival to qualities that are not ordinarily seen as strengths. It is usually a moving and intimate meeting, and often all the people who participate say that they feel strengthened and inspired by it. After everyone has spoken, the stone is given back to the patient, who takes it with them to the hospital to keep nearby and hold in their hand when things get hard. I've had several patients go to their chemotherapy, their radiation, or even their surgery with their stones strapped with adhesive tape to the palm of one of their hands or the bottom of their foot. Over the years, many of the oncologists and surgeons in our community have learned about these stones from their patients and are very careful about them. One surgeon even had the staff go through the hospital laundry in search of a stone that was accidentally thrown away with the sheets in the recovery room. I asked him why he had done this, and he laughed and said, "Listen, I have seen people do badly after surgery and even die when there was no reason for it, other than the fact that they believed that they wouldn't make it. I need all the help I can get." Actually, no one has chemotherapy or radiation or goes into an operating room without the thoughts, hopes, and prayers of many people going with them. The stone seems to make all that a little more plain to people and reminds them of the strength and beauty of what is natural. In an environment which is highly technical and sterile, it connects them to the earth. Ritual is one of the oldest ways to mobilize the power of community for healing. It makes the caring of the community visible, tangible, real. Each of us is probably profoundly aware of how isolating healthcare systems can be. These are places where we go to be helped, to be taken care of, and yet each of us know on an individual and personal level that while this is a place for caring, it can also be a place that feels quite lonely. We come for healing, and we feel isolated, alone, and lonely. And it's hard in those moments to remember our strengths, to remember what we cultivate and what we have on our own, what we've gone through on our own, the strengths that we have, and those that we've received from others. And this is a beautiful story and a beautiful anecdote, or antidote, I would say, that Dr. Remen gives us about framing a ritual that will help each individual to persist, to survive, to thrive in what can be a very challenging moment. She tells this story and this ritual of the stone. You gather your close family and friends, and you take a stone from wherever it might be, something small, and each person holds that stone and tells their loved one, tells their friend, of a particular strength that they have that they're giving to them. So that this person then can take that stone and in a certain way hold on to those strengths. As she says in the story, right, the individual might say, I put something, whatever it might be, strength, humor, curiosity, persistence into this stone for you to hold on to. Sometimes the participants share something that's surprising or unknown. And I can only imagine and think of how powerful a ritual this is for the individual who receives it. Sometimes in our world, we need physical manifestations and reminders of that love and that caring. Right? That's the title of the story, Making Caring Visible. Yes, we live in a physical world and we're inundated with so many physical things, but sometimes we need to lift up those physical things and to mark something as holy, to mark something as important. So we take something as simple as a rock and we elevate it and we give it meaning. And we say, this rock, so to speak, holds the blessings of so many friends and families. What I love also about it is not only just taking something physical and elevating it, but it's creating rituals that aren't necessarily religious. I think when we think of rituals, we think of religious rituals, whether that's in the synagogue or in the church or in some type of house of worship, a prayer, something that's ritualized. And here, Dr. Remen, as she so often does, helps us expand our mind and our awareness about what a ritual could look like. A ritual can look like blessing a stone and receiving that stone and even holding on to that stone in times of need. And I think that can be a really powerful lesson for all of us when we look for things, look for things that can give us strength in this world, that we don't have to travel too far to find that they could be right here in front of us. They could be stones in the ground. I hope it is a good day. I hope you've had some chance to reflect here together, and I look forward to seeing you soon.